Okay, well, we have an exciting few minutes to look at some bridge here, Josh Donn. How are you, buddy? Welcome to the 2025 Team Trials broadcast as you are a participant in this form of the bridge here. What's up?
Thank you. It's fun to play here. I'm having a good time.
And you're probably, not tired yet, but, you could have a lot of bridge in front of you, and you are on the Bailey team, and we're currently just looking at the scorecard right now. Right now, the Bailey team in the last set, we're in the last segment of the quarterfinals. Manageable distance at this point, about 31, it looks like. But there's a lot of bridge left to be played. In fact, we have a couple matches that are quite close, and a surprise: the 8 seed Kaplan is currently leading the Nickell team, which is the perennial favorite of this event. And the Shuri team is in a very tight match with Rosenthal. Both of those sponsors are tremendous guys, and they're battling it out at the moment. Which one do you want to go to first, Josh?
Well, why don't we check out Nickell? They're the one seed.
All right,
Might as well.
let's get over there and let's take a look at some bridge. And here we are, folks. Looks like we have jumped into the action. Kaplan up 5, and Hampson started with a heart opening bid. It went a spade by East, and they had a 5th spade. It looks like that's their lead right now. They're 3 of spades. Interesting. Not white, red. Vote. Is that where we are these days, Josh? Is that
I think he likes being 5-5. He it's easy to say afterwards, well, I had the 10 of spades, you know?
yeah? The 5-5 shape's pretty great. And
Yeah.
then South just jumped to 4 hearts, which there was an alert here of some
Yeah. Well, they play
kind.
precision. So
Wide
the one heart
range,
is
it says. Got it. Yeah, one heart's
yeah,
limited to like 15 or something.
exactly. So the if you don't think you have slam, you can just jump to 4 hearts and let the opponents guess. For example, if he had on a different hand convinced the opponents to bid 4 spades, I'm sure he would have been happy to double it.
That's super helpful for their system. And these players, Adam and Eddie, probably are aware of that as well. But how do you know sometimes, especially when you have a weird hand?
Right.
Interesting win for precision. We just saw a grand slam, but it was like you said, Josh. We can take a look at it in a moment for the audience, but maybe the audience could take a look themselves. It was a grand slam where they had like 16 tricks. Your partner opened the
Yeah,
bidding, and
15 winners and 2 roughs and dummy if you wanted them.
so it was a lot of excitement that didn't turn out too exciting, folks, because it was essentially everybody in the room just in 7 spades or 7 no trump basically. But here
Exactly.
we're just watching a garden variety 4 hearts, and what we're looking at is the start of this whole event. As you're in this event, and
Hmm.
as we saw from the leaderboard, I'm going to flash that for the audience here. If I can get you the correct leaderboard, I will flash it to you. Uh, you can see that the teams are in USA 1 of this part of the team trials, which means we're competing to see who will be the first team that the USA is sending to the World Championships. But then there's, as I mentioned yesterday, there's a concurrent event going on that's going to end up determining the second US team. So just because you bounce out of this event, which honestly, as you were saying, Josh, before we got on the air, could be a couple of really good teams bouncing out right now and going into the quote unquote losers bracket for the USA 2 slot. But right here, we're trying to stay in at each of these tables.
That's true. It's hard to set up them like who plays whom and the matchups, but it's easy to explain. You just say everyone keeps playing until you lose twice.
That's right.
One team at the end will be undefeated, they're US one, and one
Yep.
team will have one loss,
We'll
they'll
have
be
one
US two,
loss. Yep.
and everyone else will have two.
And then we will have our 2 best teams representing us. And this is a grueling event. It is 60 boards a day, 2-day event, 2-day, excuse me, not event, 2-day round, essentially. The quarterfinals started yesterday, ending today at a late hour in Schaumburg. It's an interesting event, Josh. You guys are just chilling at a Marriott out there, playing bridge.
Hyatt Regency.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, Hyatt Regency. That's right. And
Let's
you're
get it
basically
straight.
playing bridge. They have lunch brought to you, right? Pontillo's was my favorite. I think I remember that name. I enjoyed that restaurant. So you get a nice lunch break. You're hanging out, talking a little bridge. Go back, take a little rest, and then back to the bridge. Tablets, 2 people per room. You and your screen mate, and it's secure.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fun bridge. It's great competition. Personally, I like the tablets. It's, if you're in the room with your opponent, with some people, they don't mind chatting while they're playing. Other people want to really focus. And, either way, I'm good.
Yeah,
And
you're one of
it's
many
very
that
relaxed.
has that. They like the tablets, especially for this event. Makes it you get to know your screen mate maybe a little better than you normally would.
Has led to a misclick or two. I will not sell out anyone's name,
Ah,
but some people may have noticed a one heart opening on a three-card suit holding five spades, which was totally an accident by
I see. I
by
see.
a person, not me, by the way, but by
Yeah, yeah,
someone.
yeah.
And how did the one heart opening work? Their partner responded one spade, so they got to raise with five card support.
Nice. Worked out well, man. Thank you. I mean,
Yeah,
your team drew a very tough draw here with the Fleischer team in the second round, and still keeping it close. That same margin exists that we started with. It's just they were, very difficult in the last trials. I remember they were pretty much from the beginning to the end the team to beat, and we will see if that continues. But
yeah, they beat us really bad in the last trials. I was on a slightly different team, and I, I think we lost by 250 or something like that.
oh wow,
I mean, this is certainly a much closer match.
yeah,
If nothing changes, we would lose by maybe 30. A big improvement.
yeah, for sure.
So maybe we're due to win the next one. But
Maybe you're
it's
gonna
interesting. It
maybe you're
it,
gonna win
it
this one.
seems like you maybe that would be nice. It seems like you play the same teams over and over sometimes, and it's just a coincidence. But I've played Fleischer in the last 5 years, at least five long matches, and in that time, I have not played Nickell, I have not played Shuri, I've
Oh,
not played
interesting.
Rosenthal.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just
especially
keep playing
Nickell
Fleischer.
and Rosenthal. Those were two that have been around even longer. So you would think you would have matched up with them somewhat more or
I've
frequently.
played them in
Excuse
my
me.
history, but not in any recent years.
Gotcha.
Just how it is.
Yeah, yeah. Just the way it goes, right? How the draws are.
Um, um, this contract doesn't look too interesting from this point. What else is going on? You want to check out the other match?
In fact,
How about
let's
Shuri and Rosenthal?
let's take a look right now. There we go, and we see that this has started with one club being opened by East. In fact, let me change something for us here. I think I can keep those played cards to be shown
While you
here.
do that, I'll tell people these balanced 11 counts in an event like this, it's almost standard to open them. I I passed one today
Talking about the East
and
player
I
here,
missed
right?
a game.
Yeah.
That'll teach me.
Right, and that's kind of more the modern standard, right? This is even we know this team isn't playing precision or anything like that, right? They just open a normal club, and that's all
11,
systems go,
11
right?
is the new 13,
Is it because
100%.
it's a ace queen ace jack 10 fourth, or is it just
I
is
don't know
that
if
just
that's
what's
really the
normal?
reason. But you notice that he's vulnerable too. A lot of people wouldn't open this one vulnerable. I think not vulnerable here it would be a big majority choice to open it.
These are two really good teams facing off in the quarterfinals. It's an interesting match. You have
No
Eldad
easy teams
Ginosar,
left.
Chris
Yeah,
Malenkin, and then Kranyak and Demuy.
absolutely. I mean, it's just Bridge is brutal these days. It's tough draw after tough draw. People are just so good. You just win a match and you feel like sometimes you think you're a good player, you have a good team, and you win a match. It's like a minor miracle, you know?
Right, exactly.
So how did this go? Win a club. I'll never call the diamonds. It looks pretty clear. Three clubs. Maybe that's mixed or something. He alerted it. I'm not
It
sure.
says
He looks
mixed, exactly. Yep. And then North
a
double
little
gonna
heavy for a
let
weak raise.
pass four hearts by Malenkin down here.
Yeah, double implying the other two suits, a responsive double. South has four hearts and a decent hand, easy to jump to game. And actually, as you can see, it's not even that. They had no club losers, so between hearts and diamonds, they had to not lose too many tricks. It's actually quite a good game, with not a whole lot of strength.
They're also in
And they,
four hearts and playing it at the other room right there.
yeah, they really diagnosed the level of fit well.
All right, and this looks like, I mean, every match is close. Shuri's up 9 here. Kaplan remains up 5 against the Nickell team, and Kaplan is a relatively young team, you would say, at least a few of their players.
I guess three out of four. I think the fourth is older than the other three combined, or
That's
pretty
true, but
close.
that's pretty. I mean, Adam Kaplan, Adam Grossack. Finn and Eddie Wold. So yeah, Eddie's by far the senior character there. Now
Yeah.
up six, just one more imp to Kaplan there. Well, let's stick with this one. Seven
All right.
boards left in each of these matches, so we're all around the same pace here. I'll keep you posted on your match too, Josh, if anything good happens.
Okay. Sounds good. This is interesting. So he just got the spade wrong. He could have roughed it, but now he has to get the diamond right. And given that East opened the bidding already with basically not very much, I can't imagine not assuming East has the ace of diamonds.
Yeah.
Right. West had to play something anyway. If West had played a club,
Now he
could have
has
just
a.
roughed and dummy and let the diamond himself. See, that would be interesting. If you played a club, if you rough and dummy and lead a diamond, East could return the trump. You might have to rough and dummy and lead. Actually, it would have been very hard on a club return. Now that I'm seeing it, you could throw a diamond from dummy, rough in your hand, and draw the trump. That's what you could do. So you were good no matter what.
There it was, 10
I
tricks
have to think that
and
one out for a sec.
one imp for Shuri there. And you can take a peek at the rest of that deal there.
Okay, so they made five, which is certainly plausible. The cards are pretty friendly.
I tell you what, why don't we kibitz Vince for the next board? All right.
Let's do it.
So just us sitting in Vince's chair. I think it should set us up here. I think I have us. Yep. No, we're following. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna kibitz Vince for the next hand. So we should just be dealt a hand, and we'll just see the East player here, which is Vince, and which means our partner is Johnny Cran, and we have
We're a very aggressive bidding pair. I
yep,
know that.
yep, and we have Lincoln and Eldad, who are I would say a solid pair from my experience, but I don't have very much experience. Tell me.
Everyone's aggressive. I don't think they're known as like the most aggressive. I think
Yeah.
they're basically down the middle-ish for by expert standards in terms of that. But yeah,
Both
very solid,
very good play,
strong players.
experienced partnership. They've played a lot of bridge together and actually the both Willank, Chris and his wife Dana have both played a lot of bridge with Eldad.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, we're just waiting for we're actually taping this live right now, so we're on that 30-minute delay that we have in the live action. And while it's delayed, I'll flash the scoreboard up for everybody that is watching at home. And you can see still a close match. Kaplan up six. And we have Shuri up 10.
I'm not seeing it on the screen. Are you just reading
Yep,
it off?
I'm reading it off for our audience
Okay.
here. You're just waiting for that table to kind of rebound
Okay.
for us so we can see it. And we're currently watching the Shuri match, which is just popped up to 10 just because of this one imp swing, 450 versus
Okay.
420. So it's essentially out there. You play bridge, you have some food, you then play more bridge, you go to dinner, and then you go back and sleep and do it all again. It's like Groundhog Day over there for a bit, isn't it?
That's basically it. I mean, the you input your seeds. So the teams are they have like an auction before the match for seeding rights. Who has to sit first and who gets to then pick who they play in the room with.
Gotcha. Yep.
You each get four out of the eight segments. So before each round, whoever doesn't have the seed has to put their four players into a seat like electronically, and then the other team can put theirs in behind them.
Just like the World Championships, they do. You have to have it in more blind in a way, but you can kind of anticipate what the other team might do and get the matchup you might want. Is
Exactly. Maybe there's a system you want to avoid or something.
That's what I was just going to ask you, Josh. It's essentially spots where, hey, I don't love playing against multi or precision or something like that. So, I'd prefer to avoid that pair or whomever for whatever reason.
Exactly. I mean, they're not allowing the written defense for multi anymore in the World Championships or in the USBF.
Yes, yeah,
So you have to
exactly.
know how you play against it. So with my partner, we did a lot of review ahead of time.
Yep, which is now mandatory. Okay, here we go. We are Vince, and we see Chris Walenkin, red, open three clubs in first chair.
Okay. So
So,
vulnerable, we give his preempt a little credence. It's not going to be some silly hand.
yep.
We have a good hand, 17
Eldad
points.
just snapped three nose.
in a way that made our decision easy. I mean, we were going to double anyway, but we had an
Right.
option of bidding 3-0 ourselves, and now
Now we
that
know
got
that
stolen.
partner's not looking at much, and
Right. So this 3-0 looks like it might be some kind of semi-psych based on a club fit.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes it's a total psych, like they don't have anything and they're trying to get in your way.
and
And
they
sometimes it's like a
reserve the right to
semi-psych.
just bail out the clubs here.
Yeah. Sometimes they have like king third of clubs and a stopper or two, and they just hope for the best and try
Yeah.
to kind of steal it and maybe also make 3-0.
Well, plus they just have that bluff, that semi bluff possibility here. It's just an interesting spot.
Right.
We'll
So
see what
partner
he does
bids
here.
4 hearts. So we definitely are going to pass this. Our hand is nice, but A, we have only 3 hearts. B, a doubled in club could be a loser.
Yeah, and partner has a
And
wide
we
range
showed a
here.
good hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and partner anyway passed over 3 clubs. They don't have as much as an overcall. So having a slam,
All
we're
right.
not thinking about that.
Unfortunately, we're going to be dummy. But I guess we can play from Kreniak's side now as well.
I don't
Um,
think we want to play this one.
that's right. Let's get out of Vinny's hand and see the entire hand. So just so you know, we were sitting east there, and Vince was in this chair, folks. That's the chair we were watching, and you can see that Lincoln had, I don't know, it looks like a pretty normal 3 club opener there. It's kind of ugly shape wise, but it is a 7 card club suit. And then Eldad had a pretty darn good hand.
Yeah, the 3-0 bid was not kidding around. He had the king in 1 club. He's hoping to run the clubs.
Yeah,
He has stoppers all over. And in this case, the real question is, should or could Eldad have doubled 4 hearts? He doesn't have that many sure tricks actually. The ace of spades and 1 heart is his sure tricks.
right. His king queen
He,
2 of hearts isn't necessarily amazing with the doubler behind him, right?
right, but he has a lot more bits and pieces and a partner who has a little bit.
Yeah, his partner.
Um,
He knows his partner is a little solid because he preempted vulnerable in this chair.
right. This is not the kind of thing you have to double, but as you can see, it's down 2 or even 3 on if you find a perfect defensive, like getting a spade rough, maybe. You have to lead the club.
Yeah, we'll see what
Then,
happens at the other table. This
yeah,
could be a swing board, and
yeah.
six
So there
boards
was a chance
left
of
of this segment here, which is the
yeah,
end of the quarterfinals, and we will crown the semifinal four, the final four, and then we will have teams popping into, I believe it's either the quarterfinal or something going on in USA two. How many teams are going to be left in that tomorrow?
there's a bracket on the USBF website. I'll see it. So there will be 4 teams left in the winners bracket. The
Yes.
losers bracket, I could figure it out because they started today with 8.
Yep.
4 of them are eliminated.
They'll have 8 again tomorrow.
They'll have 8 again. The other 4 plus the 4 that lost in the winners bracket.
Yep.
So this went down 200. How would 3-0 have done out of curiosity?
Let's
Maybe on that.
let's see. Well, they're in 3-0 at the other table actually right now. It went 3 clubs, pass, double, pass, 3 hearts, pass, 3-0. They're 3-0 in the east-west chairs.
If Shan passed the 3 club opening, that tells you how crummy their preamps are.
Yeah, right.
If
That
3-0 went down
is,
4,
yeah,
you would
not
notice.
not not well for the east-west pairs there to be playing
They go
3-0,
down 4.
unfortunately.
Can we see the defense?
Yeah, in fact, let's see if we can
Oh,
get
by
back
East.
to.
I was
No, no, it
playing
was
it in my
east.
head
It
by
was
North.
east. It was east.
Okay, well, then obviously they just led clubs
Yeah,
and
well, it went.
eventually won something.
Shan just didn't bid, obviously, which is it went 3 clubs, pass, double, pass, 3 hearts, pass, 3. Never a peep from Shan. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting too. So Zach bid actually quite normally. You can't really get by assuming partner doesn't have anything. You have to
especially
give
on
him
this
7 or 8
auction, right?
points.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just hope partner has something. Because what are you going to do when they have 8 points? You can't just miss a game.
lucky they weren't doubled. Would you think about that with Shan's hand, or are you just happy you kind of got them into something weird?
I would definitely think about it.
He's got
I
a great
mean,
hand up there.
it's interesting. I might not double if I thought it asked for a heart lead, but I don't think it does. I think it's just a good hand.
Yeah, King Doubleton of clubs is nice too, but
Yeah, you don't know for sure partner will lead a club, and you also don't know partner has the entry. I mean, there's a lot
interesting.
you don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, double would have been. I mean, I don't. The only way you could double 3-0 is if you're going to double any suit they run out to. So maybe he wasn't willing to double 4 hearts.
gotcha. Yeah. All right. Let's keep up the pace here. Looks like we're waiting for boards. We're getting them as they come. Okay, here we go. I think, or we're about to. They just clicked to a board at a different table.
Okay, I was excited to kibitz Vince, and he had a good hand, and
I,
then
I know, and then he ends up
just
being the
became
dummy.
dummy in a terrible contract.
Let's maybe get back there and do it again. Let's go back to the Vince chair.
Okay.
So we'll wait for another deal. See if we get lucky. I do like the
Okay.
single-handed look. It's very
It
much like
reminds me of the
playing
sweat
along.
with hand. If you watch poker broadcasts, they're like, sweat with this guy for this hand.
Totally, exactly right. That's make you a better player, or and it'll make you guess why you play the game at all.
Yeah. I guess that makes us like Joe Stapleton.
Is how many teams are four-handed in the USA one that are still there? Uh,
You're still there?
Anyone?
Kaplan is, and
Kaplan
is
is.
that it? I don't think there's another one, is
I
there?
think that's it. Yeah, and that's as we
It's
were
really hard
saying.
to win four-handed. It can be done, but you get tired.
Yeah, you're the player we were just watching. Kevin Dwyer has done it for sure. You
Did it?
guys,
Yes.
you had a -3 penalty on your team. That was just a late penalty, right? Just showing up a little bit late. Not you, Josh. You would never
It's
do
okay.
that.
Someone on the team showed up a tiny bit late. It was a misdemeanor, not a felony,
Right, but 3 imps
but
could be a lot if it gets close, right?
could be. We just hope to not lose by one or two,
That's right, right.
or three, I guess.
All right, we
We're
have
not the only team. I
wow,
think two teams in the losers bracket also got the same penalty. So three people were late today or yesterday.
interesting. And well, I saw a couple. It looked like the penalties in the round of 16 were slow play penalties. They were not three. They were like one. They were like a quarter or three quarters, maybe something like that.
Maybe, but I'm talking about this
In
this
the
round.
loser bracket, yeah, yeah, understood.
Yeah.
All right, Vince did not get dealt the rose garden here,
No,
but
it's
okay.
probably
Hey,
can't
we're gonna get to make a
remember being
preemptive
happier
raise
with a
here,
four count anytime recently.
right?
So this
So,
kind of depends on your system a bit, what you might bid.
do you have
You could
a preemptive action in most of your systems, or do you keep it mixed and
I usually
otherwise?
play a mix, which is a little bit of better hand. So with a hand like this, you could make a mixed raise anyway. Just count a lot for your singleton and overbid a bit.
Hmm.
You don't really want to bid two. It's a little bit wimpy. You're just letting the opponents get right in there.
Yeah, and
You
with
could
your
even bid
shape,
four.
it's really yeah, right. The four is not out of the realm of possibility when you're white, right?
As well. Um, I mean, this three is a very normal bid,
Yeah,
almost no matter what it means.
agreed.
Um,
And it
I
wasn't
feel a
alert
little
as
guilty.
anything, so
I mean, in my mind, if it is a weak raise, it's usually a worse hand than this. Like maybe
right.
not the singleton or
Yeah,
something.
right. Maybe the club or the diamond is in the heart suit, and it's more like the 4-4-3-2 variety. Uh,
Yeah.
I
Then
was
you want
gonna
to see something
say,
interesting? A look at Eldad's double of one spade.
oh yeah,
He did not have the traditional shape, but he didn't
right.
want to bid
He
his
just
weak heart
hated his
suit.
heart suit. Interesting. That I've seen that a few times, but I mean, I guess you're gonna really hate it if they bid clubs. But do they have some sort of equal level conversion in this situation? Do you think
I doubt it. I think if
he's
partner
just like
bid, I mean, they might have it if you pull to diamonds, but usually if you pull to the highest suit, it's just a good hand. So if you
interesting?
did double, which I understand, and partner bid clubs, you really just have to pass it and hope partner has five clubs,
Here we're gonna get
or
out
that
of
they double
Kibitzing.
you out of
Here
it.
we're gonna see Willenkin as a South player here, and look at that puppy of a hand he has there.
Oh.
Oh, double you say, partner?
Mhm.
That is an easy one. This
Well,
is
the King of Hearts play will speed up the declaring.
yeah,
He was
exactly.
gonna drop it anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
That's the
if
opening
he
pair
wants
on his
to,
left.
he tried the Queen of Clubs to get it over with. But if he wanted to, he could have played out all the red cards. And since East dropped the Jack of Spades, you could squeeze West if he had the Queen and the Ten and the King of
Yeah,
Clubs.
because he has an entry and the spade over there.
Yeah, but I
Huh,
mean, when
interesting.
East plays the Jack, it's probably not the case.
All
I
right,
don't. Plus,
sure. You
you've got like a chess clock for your pair. Like it measures just the time you're taking. So you may consider it not worth it to play a hand like
tell
this out.
tell me about actually tell the audience about that. It is I remember seeing this, but it's a clock on your tablet, right? That is signifying what for you for the players.
Yeah, so each pair is allocated an amount of time. I think it might be an hour for 15 boards per pair, and it measures how much time each pair is taking. So even if your table finishes on time, if one pair was too slow, they can get penalized.
Interesting. So and they have a real clock on it because it's this digital format. Everybody's playing on a tablet. All right,
So if I was in four
15s
hearts
here.
on this hand, and am I going to play it out on that tiny chance of an overtrick of a squeeze that's probably not there? Well, if I'm low on time, heck no, I'm just claiming or
Yeah.
playing the queen of clubs and see if they cover and then claim. But
Interesting. Yeah.
if I had a lot of time, sure, I'd play it out. Why not?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
That's
things
fair.
happen.
I mean, if and maybe in a more nefarious way, if you know your opponents don't have a lot of time. Maybe you've taken very little, they've taken a lot. I mean, I don't know.
You're
That's getting
right.
into
If
maybe
you
some
think you can get a
ethical
trick,
barrier.
but you can't do that with all the tricks.
Of
That's
course, yeah,
unethical.
of course, but with certain times where you might think to go a little further with it, you would,
Yeah, it's all part of the game.
interesting, different stuff. Uh, Hampson and Greco are about to start that hand, and it's interesting. Adam Grossack passed the West hand. He
You don't
chose
see a lot of that
not
these
to
days.
bid. Yeah, that he and now Greco's opening like a 13-16. No Trump with the same hand. They're going to find their heart fit pretty quickly as well.
Yeah,
This lead has opened up pretty significantly here. And whoa, I just switched to the Kaplan match. Something big happened previous. Kaplan is now up 17 over Nickell. Wow.
let's see where those. So they won 7 imps on something.
Yeah,
You want
and
to see where it came from?
I'll get it for you right now. Actually, it was the last board, I think. Yeah, it was board 55, and we played four
Was that one?
hearts.
Was that the one with the 3 club opener?
It was, yeah. East West played four hearts in one room, and then the other room played three diamonds in the north, down three without the three
Diamonds
club
in the
opener.
north.
Yeah, it went pass a diamond by Hampson. Uh, One no trump overcall with the no trump hand, and then let me slide this over here and give it to everybody actually if I can.
Let's see it. That's interesting.
Sorry, there it is. I think, yeah, there it is. Sorry about that. All right, so there is one diamond, two no, which was clubs or some two suited strong hand, so it's just clubs obviously, and then North bid three Ds, and that's where they played it unfortunately.
Seems like a system misunderstanding. Because if
Right,
2-0 might be just clubs, North would always bid 3 clubs.
of course. So they probably forgot what this was, or maybe for a lot of these pairs, sometimes this was something different, like the sessions before. And then the other pair was in four hearts in the West down two, and there's a three club bid, and there's another three no try by Adam Kaplan there, and then it went double by
It's a normal looking
East.
bid.
Yep, past four hearts, and then there we go. Interesting. All right,
Hmm.
still waiting
Uh,
on some stuff, so we'll pull that away. We'll wait till that happens. Let's circle back to that one board we saw earlier in the session and maybe show it to the audience that we didn't get to talk about. But there is our seven no trump. There's the excitement of the day right there. You're the
oh
south
yeah,
player. You open a spade and look at north. You have 23 high card points. Do you think you can find your way to slam?
nice
Probably.
fit too. Oh, my roommate just came back.
Oh yeah,
Here come my teammates.
nice.
I don't think you have a clear
Should let me meet for 1 sec?
or your stuff, Josh, where do you want?
Josh getting the fill in from his teammates, and that's funny. We're on a 30-minute delay. All right, so his team, the Bailey team, has already completed their match. Maybe you can let us know if there was a massive comeback in the last four boards. But that's about the time everybody would be finishing there. And we're back at the action here. Nickell and Kaplan, 17 points is the difference. The Kaplan is the 8th seed, Nickell the perennial 1 seed. Kaplan up 17.
So I don't know if you mentioned this, but you know that the broadcast is on a half-hour delay. So these
Yes,
matches are actually over.
I just did mention that. So, and that's how
Okay.
I was explaining how your teammates were already in the room. So yeah,
So
we're on
I
a
got a little
30-minute.
insider info if you want it, or we could keep it all a secret.
Let's hear about your match insider info.
Okay, we played even on the set, so we lost the match.
Ah, sorry. Okay.
That's fine. And tomorrow I'll have to look to see who we play. I think it's something like we played the 10 seed before. It's like the 9 seed or something like that.
Oh, okay. Woldowski is the 9th seed, I think. Is that
That could be who we play, I think.
interesting? Well, all right then. Another day, another bridge day. Sorry, another day, another 2 days of bridge. 2 day
But they're
matches.
getting kind of high on this hand, aren't they?
Looks like it. And let
I
me
mean,
give you the full
they're getting to
start.
the point where they would have to drop the King of Hearts or guess it to make. So three diamonds. So one no trump by North, stretching a point because it's good 13 to 16, I suppose.
Yeah. Transfer.
Two diamonds, transfer. North just bid two hearts. Three
Three
diamonds, some
diamonds.
kind of retransfer.
6+ hearts. Game fit. Forcing artificial.
Yeah,
Three
three
hearts.
hearts asking.
Asking. 4 hearts. Stiff spade. Milder slam try. Four
So then
spades
the
is
North
key
hand,
card.
yeah, North has conflicting things going on. He's got a minimum and he's got a wasted king of spades,
Hmm.
but he has two aces and five hearts, amazingly.
Yeah, right. And
So
his partner shows a
uh,
6-card heart suit.
you could look at it either way. It's the North bid key cards. They're off two key cards, so they're not getting the slam. So he'll just have to pick up the heart to make it. There's no option.
Just
And
looking at the scorecard of this particular match, and
I could see something going very wrong here. You remember how Adam passed
yeah,
originally? Well, he knows from this double of five clubs, plus he could play the queen here, that the king and probably king jack are offside. He could do like a little
he,
discovery play and lead a spade to the king before trying the heart. And when he sees Adam has that ace, he may assume he can't have the king of hearts
and then
anymore.
take a heart finesse. Yeah, oh my goodness,
This is very possible here.
and that
I
is
mean, you
a
could even play the king of spades from your hand at trick two just to
just to
see who
see,
has the ace.
right? Yeah, because it's a no harm, no foul play, right?
Yeah, I mean, this would only
The
be
pass ends
bad
up
if you
being
were getting
amazing,
overruffed in clubs. But, this kind of double doesn't show a very long club suit. It just shows good clubs.
right?
So I could see this happening. I mean, honestly, the drop is only a little better than the finesse. And I think the drop
It's
is about 50%. The king and one on either side is about 25%. So the drop is a better play than finessing.
right because in
But
other
if you can
spots
get
it
a
doesn't
clue,
matter.
you go the other way.
Of course, right? In fact, you would assume Adam would open this hand pretty much,
Yeah.
unless
And then on top of that, you don't know if he has any of the queen jack of spades or the jack of diamonds.
and just so anyone watching, folks, what Hampson is thinking about here, or what Josh is talking about more specifically, is if Hampson can understand that Adam has the ace of spades, he already knows he has the king of clubs. How can he have the king of hearts and likely jack of clubs and not have opened the bidding originally, right? Especially we're talking, it's an 11 count with some shape, right? So, and he knows
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
short in hearts, especially when he leads a heart and East shows that he has a heart. So it could
he's
get
not well,
super
where 11
interesting.
counts are just being opened like popcorn left and right in this event. In fact, it's almost a little surprising to me that he didn't open it.
And honestly,
So this could win him a big swing.
this could shut the door on the Nickell team essentially. A result like this, we have just a normal 4 heart making 11 tricks at the other
Yeah, well, they,
table,
they partly did it to themselves, getting to five. In four, this wouldn't be such a big deal.
right? There it went a spade double by Kaplan, the same bid we saw earlier with this hand. 3 spades, 4 hearts by Finn Kolesnik, and they played 4 hearts. No, he's just gonna play a heart right now.
That's interesting. I'm actually surprised he didn't do didn't play the king of spades
Just
or a spade to the king to try and see. Maybe he's worried about club 6-2 and there being an overruff, but that would only matter if it was singleton king, unless because you're probably not, but you know what I mean. If it was king doubleton, unless you were planning to finesse anyway, you were going to lose one.
is there any
So
special
I don't
read
know,
you can get on your opponent in your tablet room?
not especially.
Okay, not
I mean,
the. I wouldn't want you to give it up anyway.
I mean, if with the small thing, plus Eddie has been around for a million years, he's not going to give anything away.
Of course, yeah. I was just talking about in general, like
Yeah.
what.
For what it's worth, North and East are in the same room, and South and West are in the same room. So Adam, given that South is dummy, Adam could even be telling Eric, "Oh God, I have stiff king. Cross your fingers or something."
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun that way, where you can, when one of you is dummy, you can basically talk about whatever you want.
Oh, we noticed that happens sometimes with a lot of just quick claims, and that's just someone chatting in the room, like, "Hey, do you have this?"
Yeah.
There you go.
Are diamonds 3-3? No. Okay,
Yeah.
claim.
Okay. There you
You
go.
you just ask
Yeah.
so you can
Exactly.
claim.
Exactly.
And it
Save
benefits
time.
both pairs. You'll both
Of
save
course,
time,
like you were talking, you want to keep up the pace and have a good time bank.
right? I'm surprised. Wow.
Oh, he got it wrong. Wow. Without
Is
even
this all
going
based on the
through all of
double? I
it.
mean, sometimes when
Interesting.
someone shows a suit, you play them for being shorter in another suit.
Wow, that is
But this was
now
just a double. It doesn't imply like very long
28.
clubs.
Oh my goodness, Josh. It's 28 and there is not a lot of time left for coming back. Wow. Wow.
Nickell's about to storm the losers bracket.
Amazing. And that they've done that before. I think I believe Nickell was the team that won the GNT championship plate. Actually, they played you in the final, I believe, without actually qualifying. Technically, they.
Oh, it wasn't really Nickell, but it was Meckwell, who used to be on Nickell forever.
Sorry, yeah, it was the Florida team, whatever it was. It was.
Right.
Well, you're right. It was definitely wasn't Nickell, but it was the similar construction of the team with the Florida players.
Yeah, I played the GNT for Vegas year after year. We had some success. Then I make the round of four. Then I make the finals and lose after
Oof.
winning the first three quarters. Then I don't play the next year, and Vegas wins without me.
Oh man, well, you played damn well against us. So interesting start here with both players. The choices that are made. One spade seems perfectly normal to me with Eddie's hand in this sort of event. I guess. With six spades and four hearts, what do you think? Would you
Yeah,
rather?
it's a nine count, but it's such a good nine count with the ace jack 10 6, and two spades can very easily miss game,
Three
and no
clubs
one's gonna
seems more
pass.
normal with the south hand white red, but that's just like what I would be thinking in that spot.
Three clubs is a normal bid. Two clubs is two, but you have to be willing to do one of them. You can't not pass a hand like this
Yeah,
favorable.
yeah,
It's
for
just
sure.
too likely that you can save with any kind of fit. I think they're both acceptable. Three clubs probably for them is quite a weak hand. I would assume even weaker than this. But you can mix it up too. You don't want the opponents to always know exactly what you have
Right.
when you preempt.
Shuri is up 15 with three boards left. We can migrate over to that match at some point.
Sure.
I kind of like
Um,
seeing where this ends up, though.
if they get to four hearts, this is not a super friendly layout.
No,
The
both the
hearts are
hearts are
both off.
wrong.
The hearts are wrong, and the spade is not falling. Of course, you could finesse it. And this is interesting. If South had bid three clubs, you would get the spade right.
Yeah, yeah,
But after two
exactly.
clubs, you might get
You
it right,
might.
but it's not so clear anymore.
Yeah. And honestly, if you're counting the points, I mean, you're probably going to think the Queen of Spades may more likely be in the south hand if you figure out hearts are wrong.
Yeah, it's all a big game of chicken because I see some players with a hand like South's but Queen Doubleton of spades, and now they want to bid three clubs just to cause declare to misguess the spades.
That's
You know,
interesting. Yeah.
so
Well, I mean, that's thinking super deep about everything, right? That's when you're
hard
hopefully
not
you're
to think
right.
about it when you're looking at it. You're like,
Right.
oh, how can I score this?
They played four spades in the other room on this hand.
They make
And
it.
they
They
did.
made it.
They
Yeah, I
made
see
four.
there.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this is interesting. This is not a claim.
There's your
Um,
typical lower of touching on or lead.
yeah, you can't really rough. I was thinking first, is there some kind of elimination play? Like pretend the minors were gone and you let a heart to the queen. North could win and be M played, but there's no way you can rough enough minors in your hand to pull this off. I think he's just gonna lead a heart to the queen at trick two.
Yeah.
Looks like a very normal play.
Then we're gonna get a club.
North will play a club for sure.
Yeah.
For all he knows, they're taking two clubs.
Right. Exactly.
South will probably just win and play another club. I mean, maybe he has to give a tiny bit of consideration if his partner has the ace of spades to getting a rough, but I think it's much more likely you just be fishing out partner's queen. Why would you specifically play your partner for the ace of
And
spades?
also remember East open with a nine count. That I would guess that South is not expecting partner to have too much going
Yeah.
on up
It's
there, right?
it's kind of like I would have the thought and I'd be like, well, I can't play for that. Sorry if
Right,
it's there.
right.
Now, this is going to be very hard to guess because South also never led their singleton. I mean, I'm not saying they should by any means, but you get that thought in your head too. If they had a singleton, maybe they would have led it.
Right.
Maybe not declare a suit. It's easy to waffle and you get a lot of clues going in all directions. I don't know. I kind of think he'll get this wrong. I mean, if you
You
get it
want to?
right, you're playing your partner to be 6-4,
Are we
or not your
wagering?
partner, your opponent.
Would you like to bet a Starbucks coffee? Are you drinking Starbucks coffee these days, or Dunkin'
I
Donuts of
don't
some
drink
kind?
coffee.
You don't drink coffee, okay? Cocktail of some kind.
That's possible.
All right. I don't drink much of that either. What do you? Oh wait, like a juice at a juice bar. We could do that.
We'll bet smoothies.
Done. Smoothies. I like that.
Mhm.
All right. I bet he gets it right.
You think he'll get it right? I mean, he'll know the hearts are 2-3 by then, or he
Only
might.
because you think he's gonna get it wrong.
Well, he actually doesn't know how the hearts are breaking, so he could. You kind of know South is not 1, 3, 4, 5 because they would double. And North's short out of clubs by now, so you know South has 6 clubs.
He
So
also
he could go either way.
he's there. It
Oh, he
goes.
got
He
it
got it
right.
right. Wow.
So I wonder if he was playing South to have the third heart and to be 1-3-3-6. That's possible. But then North might have opened 3 diamonds. I mean, you get into this hole, they could have done that, and they could have done
Well,
that.
also you're thinking about so many different. That's why there's a lot of guys taking a lot more time. They're thinking about all of these outcomes, and a lot of people don't do
Yeah.
it as quickly as Josh does.
Oh, look, as you can see, this is usually what happens. I get a thought, and I'm like, but what about that? But maybe that.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know. Oh, on ViewGraph, everyone's going to see if I'm wrong.
Do you ever think about that? Do you know that?
You know what? I'll tell you the truth. I've been playing for so many years. I used to play way back on OK Bridge, a ton of Kibitzers back at the time because there wasn't much else to do.
Oh, check this
And I played so many matches on ViewGraph here and there. And I'm just over it. I've looked stupid enough times that I don't care anymore.
out. Well,
You can't be scared to look stupid or you won't play your best game.
I
That's
never
how I look
thought
at it.
about it until I started playing poorly against you guys. That second set against I think I was sitting against Sylvia and Dan. I think I
Yeah.
was.
Well, I really don't know how you played. We steamrolled your teammates. I remember that.
Well, dude, that was because I gave up hope for our team in the second set. Don't worry. Wait,
Giving up hope is the worst strategy for winning.
I was. I mean, I was hopelessly bad in this. I mean, I was just. It was like I forgot how to play bridge for a session.
Hmm. Now, this is interesting
Yeah,
too. The West
really
has 8 diamonds.
5 diamonds in the west. At the other table was down one.
Okay. Because there's a diamond and 2 hearts to lose. Um, so a club, a spade is pretty normal. 2 diamonds, can't blame him.
Right.
East East doesn't have to worry about the spades because South bid him.
Are they gonna
And
try to
East,
play
it's premature
3
to bid
now?
no trump. He could do that later.
Yeah.
He's so unbalanced. He wants to show his clubs again. So 3 clubs. 3 diamonds. Most would play is not forcing
I
here.
was
I mean,
just
maybe
gonna
he
say
needs it not to be
3
forcing.
diamonds is an interesting kind of going low bid here.
I mean, we'll know if it's not forcing because if it isn't,
Oh
East will pass
wow!
it. Yeah.
Look at Norris Hartfit
I mean,
also. It's
weren't
just,
weren't they just kind of smart? It's more likely you'll have a diamond loser than not.
yeah, amazing.
And East Queen of Hearts wasn't counting for much.
That's another win for. I mean, Kaplan's just pulling away. Let's get to Rosenthal Shuri here.
Okay.
They were in 5 diamonds west at this table, and at the other table they bid to 3 diamonds on a one club one spade 3 diamond auction.
3 diamonds invitational there. Looks like
Interesting.
it must have been.
Invitational with good suit is their Michael
I guess
Rosenberg
eight to
on an.
8 card suits qualify.
Yeah, right. Do you think that's a good suit, Josh? Rosenberg on an absolute tear as far as just events that he's been shipping.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, they won the
Oh, Kevin
riser.
Rosenberg.
Kevin Rosenberg, yeah.
I was looking at Michael there. Yes, Kevin, my teammate.
Yes,
Brian was in one of those wins.
that's right. Yes,
Yes. Hope they bring the magic just like that.
you are destined to just ship the USA 2 unless you don't, right? So I'm rooting
Tell
for
you
you.
something interesting is they changed their system to precision starting with the Nationals a month ago.
Really
Yes. So
interesting.
so
So
they're working through that and it's had some good results for them.
are they going off of some other like pairs notes generally, or are they just kind of doing stuff that they've.
Well, I don't know, but Platnick with John Diamond played precision for like decades.
Okay, so
So I wouldn't be
probably
surprised if they're taking his stuff.
their original version of his stuff. Interesting.
That's my guess. I don't really know.
I like precision. It's fun, but man, that's a lot of memorization.
Yeah, it is. I think it's really good when you're not Vol because the whole idea is you bid light, you steal it from them.
Yes, and but also that negative inference of just hey, you can't have this hand because we play a limited shebang.
Exactly. So I
Waiting
don't
for
know,
two
where do
more
you want to?
boards.
I see. Should we
Nine,
try to kibitz
nine,
someone?
9 points by Shuri here. I don't think anybody is live just yet. Yeah, everyone is just waiting for one table to finish. This is a history of something else. So let's sit tight. And Josh, if you need to go and get rest for your day, you can leave whenever you like, sir. But or unless
This isn't taxing or anything.
do you know all the results? I try to make it as
I
as
know I
non-taxing.
know one of the results other than mine.
Did you know that Nickell lost? Then I would guess that would be a result that they would relay to you.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the one I know.
That seems very likely based on where we are right now. In fact, I can tell you that wow, it's 34 now with 2 boards left. So
That's
that
a, that's
is
a I don't. It's a
that's
mathematical possibility, but not really a realistic one.
right. Well, especially this is one of the boards, right? What's going to happen here? 3. Did it really go? Okay, sorry. 3 passes to Vince. Excuse me.
Looks like a 1-0, 3-0 kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
And 3-0 is just an automatic bid for the West Hand, especially in these sorts of events. That's a 9 count, folks, but that's 5 beautiful diamonds. You're not risking
yeah,
missing a game in these sorts of situations with hands like that.
sometimes when I have students or clients who, let's say, someone invites with a hand like this, and I say, if they're a bridge fan, like they follow players, I say, all the top players. They're like, yeah, I'm like, tell me, rattle them off. Which ones are known for their careful underbidding and avoiding games? They can't name one because there isn't one.
Yeah. Rob Barrington? No one brings
Yeah,
my name up? What?
they usually say Rob Barrington.
Shut up.
Well, this looks like it'll be a very easy contract. You
Yeah,
got a ninth trick on the spade lead. You could play hearts. Both clubs are on side. Everything's going.
that's amazing. In fact, that's why they probably sped it up a bit. We're gonna get this board and another one.
Yeah.
What are
Well, I
they
think
doing at the other table? Same ish.
when they slow down, when they wait on one table for another to finish, then when that other one finishes, this one has been
They
playing the hand
feed the
already, so
result
they
in.
speed
Yeah,
it up.
yeah. A club of diamond 2-0, 3-0. So East Zach Grosek here. They might play like a 14-16 no trump, and they have to do this. But
Quite
he opened the
possible.
club
Yes.
and rebid 2-0, and it went 3-0. Looks like it's
West even more has a 3-0 bid here. And
sure. They're now getting
they give him three spade tricks.
yeah, interesting. And
So
they're on their way to setting
he'll just
hearts as well.
probably play another heart, make five, like they throw a club from dummy.
So that's going to be just a little bit for Rosenthal, maybe. No, actually,
Oh,
they took 11 tricks at this table, so that's pretty good.
so that's a push,
Yeah,
I think.
it looks like it's going to be.
So
Yeah, it
nine and a
was. They
hand
just
could
shipped
certainly
it.
happen. I
Yeah, this
honestly don't
is
know who won this.
this is the last board, and we're going to find out together, Josh. And then I'd like to first of all thank you for joining, sir. This is the first time we've tried this sort of format where we're jumping in live and throwing it up later. But
Absolutely. I'm
I'm
honored to owe you a smoothie.
that's right. Wait, let me write that down on my gambling sheet here for the broadcasts. Up one
Please.
smoothie, winner chicken dinner.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it looks like unfortunately for our fearless leader here, Josh, their team Bailey has been taken down by Fleischer. Luckily, any sort of penalty did not make any difference.
True.
And we have this match, which is the closest one board left in this quarterfinal matchup of the USA 1 trial. And we have Shuri up 9. Wolfson
Tier
took
two is
down
fun. In the
Goodman.
first round, there was no upsets. Teams 1 through 8 all won.
Except the Kaplan Wildowski match was pretty. I mean, it should have been. It was 8-9. It was super tight until probably like the last 4 boards of the last set, something like that. Crazy.
Even that makes sense. The tightest one was the two closest seeds.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to just. It's like giving credit to the Vegas odds makers. Like, well done. Well, you guys did a great job seeding this field. Although Kaplan is the surprise winner here, and that is a 4-handed team, and that will matter probably when we get towards the end of the event. You have Adam Grossack, Adam Kaplan, Finn Kolesnik, Eddie Wold. Are you invited to the Kolesnik
The
Grossack
wedding.
nuptials?
I'm not, but
Really?
I'm playing. I'm playing. I was playing either 1 or 2 regionals while that's going on, and one of them with a guy I play with sometimes, who's also often a partner of the Grossacks.
I see.
So
I
maybe I got a
see.
regional out of it.
I fortunately was not invited. I'm not sure why. I don't know what I did, Josh.
Yeah,
It's the
I don't
wedding
know.
of the century in the bridge world. I mean, it's like the
Was
joining of the what would the other wedding of the bridge century? I don't know.
Well, Kevin and Cecilia was a good one.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, but this seems more like Kevin doesn't have the family of bridge players behind him. This is more like two families coming together to dominate the bridge dynasty. Like it would be the Rimsteads, like, and what's well, actually, yeah, the Rimsteads and the Grossacks would make a good one.
Yeah.
The
Got
Donns,
a good
maybe.
point.
We need some more kids in the Donns family. Let's go.
I have a brother and two sisters, none of whom play bridge. I'll tell you a story.
Have you taught your daughter yet?
Uh, I tried to, I mean, I don't care if she wants to learn. She told me she did, and so I taught her for like a minute once, and then she never wanted to again.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
She calls all the honor cards drama queens.
I'm just gonna do a
But
little refresh, see if we can get this board jumping up. So you were gonna say something else, so talk to me.
well, I promised a story. So my older sister, Rachel, I'm at the time of this story, I believe I was 17. She's 3 years older, so that makes her 20. I had been playing bridge since I was 14. I wasn't like really all that good yet. Maybe one of the better players at a club or something. And uh, somehow it came up. I bet my mom that I could play bridge with my sister at the club, who has no idea how to play whatsoever, and get an average. I was confident I could do it. So it's like a 5 minute ride to the club. And I quickly realized I can't even teach her about like strategy or even points. I have to teach her like, when is it your
Gotta tell
turn?
her
How
how to
does a bidding
pass.
box
Yeah,
work?
exactly.
I was like, don't worry when it's your turn. I'll tell you when it's your turn. Um, I'm explaining a bidding box. I get there, I show her how it works. Um, I remember one hand, which is basically I opened a no trump as I did a lot that day.
Yeah.
She bid two hearts, and I alerted. What's that? I said, well, first of all, not a transfer. She's never heard of a transfer. She has hearts. Second of all, I think she's picked up a little bit about points by then. I said
Very
to bid it
ethical.
all, she must have a good hand. So I'm thinking like good hand with hearts. So I bid three no, and she
Smart.
had like an 11 count with like seven hearts. And by playing no trump, I beat everyone. I got a
Nice.
top.
Yeah.
And anyway, I did lose the bet. I think we got like 46%. But to this day, over like 20, almost 25 years later, if you ask my sister, what did Josh teach you about bridge? She said, all I know is if Josh bids 3 no trump, I'm supposed to
Just bet.
pass.
Yep. That's the best advice you can give your new partner for sure.
That's what I told her. If I bid 3 no trump, please pass.
Oh, man, that's you know what I see what's happening here. There's one table that's literally on board 11 right now.
We're at 11.
It's Camel and Zia and Simpson and Rodwell.
A broadcast is only as fast as its slowest table.
Well, here's what they're doing right now, just so I can show everybody. They are literally back on board 57 at this point, which is why this is taking so long. They can't
One of
present
the
us with
teams
this
might get
last board.
penalized, but
I tell you
this
what.
looks like a big enough. Yeah, sorry.
No. Go. Keep.
I'm just saying it's a big enough margin that a slow play penalty won't change the outcome.
Yeah, I'm gonna get our final score just so we might be able to not have to sweat this last board. Let's go back here. And there it is. There's only one table finishing, and it's the table we're watching. All right, let me
They're
bring
not
this
on the
over
last hand or
for
anything. They're like a few to go
yeah,
on
exactly.
this. But we got some winners.
There it is. So we have Nickell losing to Kaplan by 44 as the last total. Fleischer wins by 41. Shuri just holds on to that 9-point margin. That looks like they chopped that last board, so they were doing that. And then Wolfson Goodman, as you can tell, not quite finished yet, so they'll have the score up here a little bit of time. But that's all she wrote. And let me get over to our semifinals. That's what it looks like. It's going to be
Yeah,
Kaplan.
it's going to be Wolfson. They increased their lead even.
Exactly. Kaplan versus Wolfson, and then Fleischer versus Shuri. Wow, I got a lot of friends on both of those teams, actually. That'll be an interesting matchup. But that's all she is for the quarterfinals of USA 1. We have the, after this is going on, the semifinals of USA 1 starts tomorrow, which I believe is concurrent with the quarterfinals of USA 2. Maybe that's about right. So we'll check this out in a couple days' time. And in between, Josh, give me some of the lowdown of what's going on. Is there any drama in Schaumburg? Anything going on in the bridge world, zeitgeist, that you want to pass on to everybody?
Pretty quiet as far as I can tell, but I'm anything other than in the loop.
Me too, but I like that event a lot because it's a very small amount of very good bridge players all in one kind of spread out place. And there's nothing else around there, right? You're kind of in a business park, so you're there to work, and you're doing a great job. I hope you do better in USA 2 than you did in USA 1, and we're rooting for you in the finals of that.
I'll hang on as long as I can.
And if you're not hanging on in the tournament, you just come back and talk bridge with me, and we'll all be really happy.
Sounds good.
All right, later, brother. Thank you so much. And folks, come back next time. We'll see you for another episode of the trials, and we will be live that last day of the finals at each of these events. We'll see you then. Good luck, everybody.